Okay, welcome to the August 6th meeting of the Board of Raleigh County Commissioners. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, old today.
Something's getting out one of the cell phone holes. I mean, it was close.
That might have put us in the dark.
Yeah.
Do we have any public comment? This is your first time here?
First time here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what do you think?
Oh, no,
I didn't think so.
I
I thought you'd been here for a budget.
I have been here for budget. Good morning, Commissioners. Jared Tremblay, Flint Hills MPO. I'm here today because as part of the US 24 corridor study, which you have funded and are part of as Riley County, along with the City of Manhattan and Pottawatomie County and KDOT, we are holding a city, county, and hopefully county meeting on September 17th to discuss the progress of that report and plans going forward. So we would appreciate your attendance at that September 17th meeting. I realize that in the past there's been redundancy at those meetings and therefore you haven't decided to continue those, but this will be a new topic.
Where's
So-
that being hosted? Sorry.
It'll be at the City of Manhattan.
Okay.
It'll be right at Commission room in City of
Yeah.
Manhattan. 4 p.m. September 17th, US 24 corridor study update. So I'd appreciate if you can make it. That'd be great.
That's probably worthwhile to attend, so
Yes.
sounds good.
All right. Thank you very much.
Any other public comments? Seeing none, let's have commissioner comments. Commissioner Ford?
Where has this week gone?
No?
I blinked
I
and,
think there were 17 hours went Tuesday.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've always kind of wondered what the success rate of having everybody there on the Wednesday morning after.
Staff,
Yeah.
very good.
That's what I figured.
You would not believe the commitment of your guys' staff
Oh.
before and after. It's unreal.
Yeah. Okay, well, good to know. Kind of enjoyed the first little drippings of fall. Football camps are open. It was absolutely gorgeous yesterday. Had a little rainy today, but it's cool. I know this is kind of like the pre-fall to the, still got 8 weeks of summer to the pre-fall and then the fake fall before the rest of summer, and then it'll be Thanksgiving. Monday post BOCC meeting, I met with Amanda Webb, Riley County Planning and Special Projects Director, discuss how things happen in her office in her department, including the data center conversation, the Home in the Heartland grant, and the comprehensive and strategic plans, several other items regarding to just planning and zoning in general. Had a good back and forth, which I think sometimes is important. Monday afternoon, I went back and watched session 1 of the Kansas Department of Health and Environment series, Pulse of the Public Health Commissioner's Guide. This one dealt with the value of public health and how it strengthens your community. It was really a discussion, helped clarify what public health really is, why it matters to communities in rural areas, and the critical roles county leadership, county commissions play in protecting and providing those services. Considering what we've been discussing lately, it's unlike the first one that dealt with finance, which was confusing. This one actually made a lot more sense. So got one more of those to watch. I've got those saved if anybody else would like to see those as well. I did take Tuesday off. Of course, I watched the primary election returns, obviously entrenched in the local returns. I was also interested in some other local returns from around the state of Kansas. Said I know a lot of different local and county officials from around the state. I was kind of watching to see how those went. As usual, I want to give a large shout out, as we were just mentioning, to our election staff, workers, and everyone who had a hand in making this round a success. I've heard and seen nothing but compliments. Normally on those things, nobody says anything, but everybody's been really complimentary. I've heard the words helpful, friendly, engaged, quick. So we're just going to go ahead and go with that one, but doesn't get done with a lot of other people, not just outside of elections too. It's a real team effort, and I think we're a pretty well-oiled machine here. So appreciate all those working efforts. Wednesday morning, it's been at work, helping to get caught up on some back orders and some other products and various things. Kind of in that phase where we do a 4-10 schedule, but we're also working Fridays now, so nobody's ever happy about that, and maybe that's justifiable. Wednesday afternoon, I met with Cam Hutton, SFC with the United States Army 1ID Division. Basically discussing some military relations and other things pertaining to Riley County and Fort Riley as a whole. Had a very in-depth conversation and discussion on handful of items. Property tax was discussed in thorough and how we can collaborate better with our people at the state. I was gonna plead the fifth on that one. And we'll probably have several other accounts. She's stacked up some data and information that I haven't had a chance to go through, but could be useful in our efforts to inform and educate as well. Wednesday evening, I listened in on a telephone town hall hosted by Second District U.S. House Rep Derek Schmidt. Even though he doesn't technically serve our district, he does serve a large portion of the Fort Riley installation. And of course, is on the Armed Services Committee. So I was curious to see what he might have to say in regards to that, what questions would come up. With that said, there was a dialogue on basically the issues you would probably expect, federal spending, Social Security, the SAVE Act, and the Farm and Agricultural Bill that's kind of working itself through various phases of Congress. Interesting conversation. There were some good questions, good dialogue, and it's worth the time to watch. I ended Wednesday with a trip over to Ogden to attend the city council meeting, give everybody a quick update on everything that's going on with Riley County, stuck around to listen to and finish some of their city business and other items. Got a new city foreman over there. The last one retired. Having some issues over at the pool with filters, so that may be closed for the rest of the year till next year. They struggle to keep that staff too. Had their elections over at the community center, which went very, very well. Another set of compliments I heard from that too. Most everybody over there waits till election day, so they don't come over and do advanced voting. So, I said something in the neighborhood of 250, 260 votes, which is pretty good. Considering a primary round and a midterm. So, and I guess with that said, that's about all I've got.
Commissioner McKinney.
Everything.
Oh, okay. Let's see, Monday afternoon, I had a couple of medical appointments. That's about all I got done in the afternoon. Tuesday, I attended the worship committee meeting at my church. We worked on the September schedule for services, went over our budget. Of course, we went over budgets for 2027. And it's a lot easier than budget meetings we go through, that's for sure. So after the meeting, I came down to the office, excuse me, catch up on some work. Wednesday lunch, I attended the military luncheon at DoubleTree Event Space. Guest speaker was Brigadier General Matthew J. Hardeman, who's the Deputy Commanding General at the fort. He discussed various deployments and redeployments at the fort, so they're really busy back and forth all over. Really busy time. Scheduled for fall activities pretty full. And I failed to pick up the schedule, but Apple Days is going to be in September this year instead of October.
Yeah, football schedule's pretty busy, and
Yeah.
there's various activities going on the 25th, and maybe
I can't remember why they had moved it to October to September.
shutdown.
Oh, that's right. Okay. That's right. Okay. And later that afternoon, Greg Eystone came by my house to look at a real large evergreen tree. That's got some dying branches.
Oh,
Uh,
like you said, he brought you an evergreen tree, and I thought, that's interesting.
Why, it's really a nice big tree.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not good news. I don't know if the tree's gonna survive or not, so I don't know. So if you have problems with trees, Greg is really good.
It's been a lot of areas, yeah.
Let's say, after that, I reviewed the agenda and documents for today's meeting, read a bunch of things from the law board, and that's all I've got.
First item of business, commissioners, need a motion on tax roll correction.
There's questions. I'll go ahead and make a motion to accept the tax roll correction from a payment under protest for 25.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve approve, where am I? Approve the tax roll correction as presented. All in favor?
Chair, please sign. Next, Commissioner, need a motion on Riley County Employee Action Forms. Malik Johnson, new hire, volunteer firefighter, Fire District Number 1. Lauren McCaffrey, intern, Health Department, Separation of Service. Russell Stuckey, Retirement Emergency Management Director.
I'd move to approve the Riley County Employee Action Forms.
Second.
So moved and seconded to approve the Riley County Employee Action Forms. All in favor?
All three, please sign. Bob, how you doing? Good.
How did Russell do? Did he know?
He's ahead by like 60 right now.
Yeah.
By
So
60,
he-
yeah, I knew it was really neck and
He
neck.
should be fine.
It is, I got tired of watching. Translate. And it was like pretty close.
That's why I just waited, look for that small thing to see.
Yeah.
I didn't realize one of our assistant county attorneys was a
Yeah.
magistrate judge, and he's
Didn't know that.
uh-huh,
Who's that?
Loudon.
loud.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
really? Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah. He had
I didn't
mentioned
know
that.
that.
Which,
I think
Last
you,
summer,
you do a good job.
which county?
Oh, yeah.
Which county?
Sedgwick.
Sedgwick.
Sedgwick, okay.
No, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. Next, Commissioner, need a motion to approve payroll and accounts payable.
Go ahead and make a motion to approve payroll and accounts payable.
A second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve payroll and accounts payable. All in favor?
Aye.
All three, please sign.
Sorry.
Where's your coffee at? It snowed this morning.
I get up real early and then I drink it in the morning. That way I don't take it with me anymore.
Ah,
Me too. I can
More
only take
fancy this
so
year.
much.
Sometimes you'd have
Obviously didn't drink
four
enough.
different coffees from four different places on the table.
We'd appreciate it if you start bringing it again.
Yeah.
Make the rest of us tired.
Or you can bring breakfast too.
Breakfast?
That'd be okay. I'll make a motion.
Well, sometimes we have some outside groups who will bring us donuts and rolls. I don't know what's happening with, I haven't seen that since Christmas.
That's usually
That's when
what
it
it is. fruit basket, jelly beans.
Jelly beans, yeah,
I love jelly beans.
I am a fan.
My favorite is the black licorice.
Mm,
They're not hard to find.
You won't have much competition.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I filter and throw those out, so I don't get one accidental.
Any changes to the minutes, commissioners?
I didn't have anything.
I didn't have anything either.
So I'd move to approve the minutes of the August 3rd meeting as presented.
Second.
Then moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the August 3rd meeting as presented. All in favor? Aye.
Tentative agendas look, commissioners. Any items for next week's press conference? If not, you have Elizabeth Ward at 9 o'clock.
Be back.
We have a executive session
Yeah,
Okay.
Monday. No,
Okay.
Monday.
on Monday,
Yeah, we don't have any time.
what day it is.
We got, there's quite a list for today, but no executive sessions.
A lot of them are short.
Mm-hmm. How are we?
This half of we is okay, how about your half? Yeah. So there's that note I think yesterday, I don't know if that was formed up, it's kind of just a, hey, here's some background, I feel like I should probably.
You wanna, yeah. You're fine.
Yeah, but, you know. Yeah, gonna go.
Yeah.
No, that's what it is. Good works today. No rate line is best, this week, it's way ahead of 800, it's still this week, so. Yeah, it's working with people in the home, not like mine, so she's pleasant, but. Over. And. Or do that, or.
Is Jenny able?
No, she's done, she's done, so
Yeah, that's the day.
I take it under off the drive.
Okay.
I'll be on. Saturday for wedding and then on Wednesday, you know, I got the house rent on today, so I go to game on Sunday. Yeah. But.
Next week.
Yeah, it's my, I don't know, I'm gonna make sure the school then. Sometime tomorrow or.
Okay.
Really on Saturday, I don't see, but. Yeah, we'll try to watch this one. How about you and stuff?
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, sure.
So, oh.
Yeah, yeah. You know, but I don't know, so-
Oh.
Clear for everybody out there?
Oh, yeah. I know I should shower this morning.
Uh-huh. Yeah. He hasn't.
Yeah. Remote work in Florida.
I got baby pictures this morning.
Oh, did you?
Super person, 6 weeks old.
I was gonna say, then a little bit.
Just like lifting her head up and looking around with big eyes. All stuff that she was not doing when I was there.
Gonna maybe have to get her to come up to Kansas for a little bit.
Yeah, except I keep telling them they shouldn't travel with her, so.
Oh, yeah.
And the other side wanted, she was born in July, they wanted her to travel on an airplane by July. I don't know. Weird, but
Please don't.
Yeah. yeah, it's just staying on it.
Where's the other side at?
In Washington, Spokane.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, that's not a very fun place to be. Yeah. They got a bunch of fires going on.
A little warm out there.
Oh,
right
okay.
now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, we did.
Of course, I haven't seen, we had a pretty good fires contained, because he was burning the
Oh, the transfer station. Yeah.
last week. I'm guessing that was a.
Yeah. I'm sure they had a pretty large pile
Yeah.
out there.
All we have is hard copies of them.
Well, I found them somewhere last time.
Did ya?
Before, but I can't find them this time.
Someone must have posted them on their own then.
Yeah, wanted to see what the other folks were doing. This was after, but just to see.
I have volume. I said that.
Congrats, Russell.
Good morning.
At 60, you'll be fine. Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
You'll take it.
Yep.
I'll be somewhere, it's not here.
No, not mine this time.
Mine.
Okay. Smells like it was microwaved.
Nope,
Nope, not yet.
was not. This is a fresh one.
I might try to get back into drinking coffee. When it cools off.
Yeah. I'm a fan.
I got bags of gift bags of coffee at home. I need to get out of my cupboard. Did you hear about the issues they had over on the Missouri side with elections?
Seemed like I saw a snippet or something, but I didn't pay
They
attention.
ran out of ballots in Jackson County, which is northeast Kansas City Metro, Graytown, Independence.
Huh. Did they have like a big issue or?
They had 5 constitutional amendments.
Oh, why they didn't prepare for a higher
No,
turnout.
they did not.
Thanks. Yeah, and most of them failed.
Yeah,
That's what I read. It was how the income tax going away
mhm.
failed so badly.
All right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
To do away with with.
Or they were looking at, I think, removing the property tax and replacing it entirely with income. I think that's, or
All
sales.
I had seen is
I don't
doing the headline said doing away with the income tax failed.
Yeah, they
Huh.
I have a weird system how they use that, and it's kind of bleeded over onto the Kansas side. Some of those eastern counties, Leavenworth, Miami County is I guess it's talked to the legislature and it's considered that, so.
Hmm.
But all things considered with Kansas counties, it's pretty much property tax and a few other entities, so don't really get to use any of the other legs of the tax.
No, I
So
suppose did. If
that's
they
been
did
kind
away
of
with
the
the
argument
income
on it.
tax, they gotta get it somewhere. So if you
Yeah.
can get a property
Yeah.
or motor vehicle or something, they gotta get money.
I will check this month.
Mhm. Make your contribution.
Yeah.
Like I said, we can take taxes down to 0, but eventually at some point you are not gonna like the road and bridge conditions.
Conditions or lack thereof.
And
I
good
think we
luck,
should pull up some historic pictures from like 1910.
and good luck with your garden hose on that fire.
Yes. Hopefully you got an emergency medical vehicle to help you out.
That's what side by sides are for,
It can
right?
be done.
Oh,
It can be done.
yikes.
There a way to get rid of that part? Anybody know?
Yeah, the
And look, raise it up all the way to the top of that branch
This?
right there.
Is that how you get rid of
Thank
it?
you.
Because mine did the same thing. I don't know why, but mine
Yeah.
had the same
Yeah.
thing. And I just kept punching around till I saw.
Welcome to the AI world.
Memory. I would have not known which one I punched, so great.
And it's not a touchscreen.
It is now.
Oh, it is.
It's a
I heard him
touch-
talking about it, but I thought that was gonna be on.
Literally, so mean. It's not, he just wants to see me trying.
Fingerprint.
Uh-huh, yeah.
When we catch you red-handed, we already have your fingerprints, so I'm working ahead.
No.
On the
Don't be ready.
map up there. We can just have them come when the forensics come and wipe them right off and we're already good to go.
Listen, I
Oh,
have
okay.
passed significant security clearances twice. I'm okay. I think we're okay here.
Yeah. I've been to, I think, 3 of the 4 most secure places in the country.
Yeah,
so
I've,
I think I'm okay too.
mine weren't things that necessarily needed security clearance, in my opinion. Ready, Catherine?
You have 6 seconds.
Oh, I
2
do?
seconds.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not
my bad.
quite.
3.
We have to be
2.
exact.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I thought we talked so long, it was Shirley.
Down to the second.
Thank you.
Now you're late.
Now
I
you're.
know. I feel like I should just say good morning and go back to my office. All right, so Human Resources Staff Report. I'm Elizabeth. I'm the Human Resources Director. I'm trying a different format. Jacob and I talked a couple months ago about just different ways to give you the information. And so I'm trying to put it more like in the style of how he does his, which seemed informative. I really, what if it doesn't work? If you don't like it, please let me know. I mean, the whole point here is to get you information related to what's happening in human resources. So we do, you can see I did include the head count still. And so we are at 287 in our regular employees. We did have some changes. So I did these for June and July because we didn't have a staff report then. And so some of the numbers that I would have you look at is that turnover rate, the 12-month turnover rate. Jacob and I talked a little bit about that. By itself, it means nothing, but if you keep track of our turnover, you can compare it to industry, compare it to, you know, some of our peers, although it's difficult when you get in smaller communities that don't necessarily have a lot of options. So you can see though, our turnover rate, the last time we reported was just over 10%. So it is creeping up. We did have some turnovers that were intentional in June and July, so that could relate, but it's always a 12-month look back. So something that we probably want to keep our eyes on.
Yeah, seasonal and stipend, it's 318. What am I missing there?
Total employees. So yeah, that's going to be our election workers and our fire and
Okay, that's
yeah.
what I thought.
Yeah, it's election and fire, and then that's a little bit high because of this current season we're in. So it'll come back down when when some people come to attrition out from elections. But Susan and Rich do currently keep the election workers on our employee list as long as they know that or expect that they're coming back. So we don't take people off and then rehire them. They would be required to bring us all their documents again and those kinds of things. So that never really, it always hovers around 300. And then I don't personally, I don't think that the turnover is relevant in that. So,
Well, I guess when it comes to the turnover rate, I mean, how's that comparing with other local jurisdictions in the area and the private sector?
yeah, so with our regular employees, that's definitely applicable, right? And I would say I had some information a couple months ago about county rates, and we would be high for counties in Kansas. But what I'd like to also see is where we are in the municipalities here in Manhattan, and then also kind of our competitors, which are private industry as well for our employees, and see where we're at.
And also the large, as you mentioned, the large counties.
Yeah.
And the small one.
Yeah.
Just looking at the top 10.
That's
Yeah,
that's a good comparison.
I think that's true too. And it's not,
Size, you know.
I think that's very important because we're really getting it out of our labor market, which is
Anything, at least get the 2 or 3 ahead of us and the 3 behind us.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, and sometimes you have to be a little bit more intentional with that. We have a listserv and it goes out, but what you get back isn't always the exact counties you want. So I can work on that. I think that'd be a good thing to talk about. We did start talking about that about 6 months ago, and we brought some conversation at the commission level. So we can bring that back to surface. We currently have 6 openings, and that means actual recruiting is happening. So that we did make an offer for the treasurer's positions, and they were both accepted. So since this was, we're just waiting for their pre-hire paperwork. So both of those positions will be filled. And then that doesn't include the vacant positions that the commissioners recently approved. So we are working on those. I did meet with the PIO and the budget officer yesterday to plan marketing for the administrator. The PIO is going to draft some ideas, some things, Vanessa is going to draft some things and bring them back to us for a draft to see whether or not we can do that internally effectively, or if we need to go out outside. In the past, we talked about going external. Vanessa feels pretty confident that she can put some things together, and the things we talked about, like where we want to hit, we're pretty sounding really well. So we'll bring you what we can on that. Okay, so here's kind of the report. We worked on, of course, the health department stabilization and reorganization, supporting the interim health department, preparing the pay plans, developing health department, kind of all the details that you guys know and we've talked about multiple times. We have had some hand and some management in financial controls. So we're working on a cash drawer process, which has been squared away for the clinic, but we're also working on an entire billing system. So like an entire circular process for the clinic in particular, and then that can go out from there, kind of radiate out from there to some of the other divisions who take payments. We had very weak chain of custody. We had very weak cash counting, and we have no system really that ties the whole clinic health department together, from med clerk to nurse to biller to checkout to insurances. So those are all things that we've all been collectively working on. Lot of employee relations and performance management. So we have had several employee complaints, some workplace complaints over the summer. You guys are aware of those and kind of how those are either were handled or are being handled. We've also had a couple of things that haven't risen to your level, just code of conduct and employee supervisor training and conversations. You're tracking, of course, that we reclassified the county clerk's position. We worked on the election specialist, which came through to you and was one of the expanded positions you approved. We obviously worked on the administrator together on that. And then, of course, the temporary assignment compensation for the leadership there. with our recruiting and onboarding, we have continued with our orientation. So we have that 30, 60, 90-day orientation onboarding program that has been going really well, really hitting on trying to keep employees. So this is really a retention. Once we get people in the door, we want to try to keep them. And that's really a retention. So Michelle leads that, and she is working with the department heads. So they do 30, 60, 90, one with the supervisor, one with HR, department head, et cetera. And they try to just make sure that everything is being answered, that they're fitting in, that they have all their benefits done, by the 30-day mark, those kinds of things. And then we also did specific, so we brought the public information officer on and tried to do a little bit more of an onboarding to get her acquainted with all the departments and the services. What we're talking about for an administrator would hopefully expand on that. So we'll bring you some proposals for that, but we would like to really be able to give that administrator a view of Riley County and also get a really good feel of those candidates that you choose to interview. So we'll put some plans together for that. Did work on some policies. We, again, have had some professionalism and conduct, some of those things, those temporary work assignments, the workplace safety, several policy and organizational issues. And then I think it's important that what we've worked on is trying to create continuity in those transitions, trying to create continuity in the health department, continuity in the rest of the county with the transition to the administrator, trying to assuage employee concerns and answer those, and preparing for that, really the future of what the organization looks like. So here is what we believe our priorities are. If you have a different direction on that, I would love to know that. But priority is finalizing the health department position descriptions. And I will let you know that we're kind of have to take from the top and take from the bottom and make the middle. So we started at the bottom, and we've got the draft for the coordinator positions drafted, which will then lead to that the assistant administrator, and some will come down from the director. So we're working on that. We do need to then recruit for the health department. We are working on those operational and staffing changes. And of course, David's leading that, but Michelle is very active in the personnel side, and I've been very active in the policy and process side. Yep, we're working, I mentioned that county administrator, so we're working on advancing that. I think we said, Vanessa, that you would have something, we think maybe an idea draft by the end of next week is what we're aiming for. Obviously, we went through the budget and personnel. We plan on unwrapping that again as soon as you guys are ready in the early fall, and going through financial administrative controls. So that kind of gives you an idea of what we've been doing through most of this summer, and what our priorities are. Certainly, if you have any comments, questions, direction. Okay. All right. Thank you.
9:15, you have Russell Stuckey.
This is probably your last update. Yeah.
Certainly.
Been waiting for this for a while. Why didn't you start with this one, huh?
Almost 6 years.
Thanks, sir. Going to new digs.
We good?
Stopped by there. I've never seen it all done.
Uh-huh.
Almost did yesterday, but didn't have enough time.
Yeah, they're coming back the 24th.
Huh?
The furniture guys still got stuff to do. He's coming back the 24th.
Yeah.
So. Don't make it out before the 27th is our grand opening, ribbon cutting.
Mm-hmm.
Bless you.
Thank you. What's that?
That's past the 5-second rule. You can't do that.
Is that for the next one or what?
Yeah.
It's preemptive.
Usually say it or, and then they don't see.
That's a good point.
My grandparents always be like, I'll give you a quarter.
Oops, did the wrong thing.
Now you broke it.
Mm-hmm.
There's always one, Vanessa, there's always one.
Job security, right?
Yeah.
Just remember, it's his last one, so you have to deal with it
He's got it
again.
Did you need help getting?
Yeah, you might want to take
Yeah,
this to it. and
yeah, go right ahead. Might as well, right here.
Drive, don't let them touch anything.
Not this one?
There we go.
Then
Thanks.
grab the mouse, take it, and wait till the next one. Preseason football tonight.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Who's playing?
Cardinals and the Panthers.
Is it seriously tonight?
Seriously tonight.
Wow.
Yeah, halfway didn't believe him as well. Like, it's August
Where did that go?
Hall of Fame weekend.
6th. Reach for real college football. That's for sure.
It's only a few weeks away.
So after last season, I have not engaged in much media with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I never did just whatever K-Man has on, you know.
I heard
that's
a
all
few
I hear.
names in training camp, but.
Yeah, I mean, I'm watching that stuff, but
And like K-State guys getting some time on the Chiefs and Zinke, whatever his name was.
He's coming back from a major injury though, so that's
Yeah, but the guy ahead of him got injured, so
that's what I
so
thought.
he's getting more time.
Yeah. He was in that 3 deep rotation
Getting
there.
an
in
opportunity.
Okay.
the Super Bowl year there. He was in that 3 deep rotation, so
But I heard the other guy
Yeah.
that had number 1 spot
mhm.
has something going on.
it's 15th.
You see those Chiefs. Lemon signed
Mm.
Yeah.
5 center.
Yeah, I
you think
did.
Jack?
Huh?
It's Panthers
Up
and who?
somewhere.
Cardinals.
Cardinals.
I remember where. I just saw that.
Well, you-
It'd say the first round draft
Now they
pick
got
Jeremiah
11
Love isn't playing,
now.
so
Really?
6 or 4 odd, 5 or you.
maybe
Gotta
not.
figure out what you can
Yeah.
do in this one anymore, you
Get 'em
know?
a couple
It's not as bad.
nap,
You
like
gotta
a couple
remember, you know,
seconds.
they're right of those rookies like running backs.
Morning, Commissioners. Russell Stuckey, Emergency Services Director and Fire Chief. Here for my final staff update. So, obviously, one of the big things is we've gotten moved into our new facility and there's still a few things to button up. The furniture contractor has a few corrections to make to furniture that wasn't quite right, and they're gonna come in towards the end of the month and get that done. The 911 equipment is scheduled to be in on the 17th, and IT and KCOM have both been working on the dispatch equipment, and the IT and another contractor has been working on the EOC technology and the different screens and things we have in there. So things are moving along. The landscaping's done. There's still some touch-up paint that needs to be done.
a few little other minor things. And then I think Blueville's the contractor to do the final grass seeding and grading. So that will happen probably the end of the month, early September, I think is the
September's when the
current plan, when the best time to plant the grass
that's
is.
the best time. to
Unless
plant.
it's 90 or 100 degrees.
Yeah, yeah,
Middle
exactly.
of September, it's when it starts.
That's probably better, yeah, I suppose.
So we're glad to be in there and appreciate that. We're gonna have our open house on the 27th. You should have got the flyer for that, ribbon cutting. So hopefully all the commission can be there, and we'll get the big scissors and
Oh, wait a minute, I thought the tradition is to start a fire and put it out.
well, we could do that too. So got that coming. As far as other activities, we've just been doing fairly normal stuff along with in the extra meetings to try and get all the different things buttoned up. Still been working on the emergency management side, still been pushing L3 Harris to get some questions answered that we have as far as our maintenance contract and agreement and some IT stuff that been working with Corey with on the radio system. Trying to get that buttoned up before I leave. I don't know if Harris is going to get the answers back to us as quick as we'd like, but I'm going to push on that until my last day. And I've been working with David, including David on all those correspondence and working with him to keep him up to speed so that hopefully there won't be much drop off in the handoff after that. Obviously, he's been a little preoccupied with the health department, so we haven't been transitioning quite as much as we probably would have liked, but we will keep plugging away on that. All the other little stuff like working with the post office to get our mail changed and all those other things. We did in the EOC, we had a tabletop the other day with a lot of county staff and then affiliated organizations, city staff, Manhattan Fire, City Public Works. We put David in the hot seat, but I was there to coach him, so he filled the role of EOC manager, and he did well. And I coached him on a few things and added in where I thought appropriate, but he did well and everybody did well. And it was good to use the EOC and get the staff, or at least some of the staff. Everybody wasn't included in this because it depends on what kind of emergency you have, what staff will actually call in, But the Anna was there and Vanessa was there, and I thought it went well. I thought it was pretty educational and a good start for kickoff for that facility with many more tabletops and exercises to come. On the fire side, Doug and Jake both have been working on getting the truck we got from forestry put in service, working with the counselor's office to get the burn resolution update done. And I think we'll get that done before I'm gone. So
Yeah.
we shall see. No major changes there, just kind of clean up stuff and making it a little bit clearer language. Clearer language, so easier to understand and explain to other people and for people to follow. Working with forestry and Army Corps of Engineers on the mitigation activities around the lake, trying to get it to where there's some breaks to where if and when there is a fire, because there's going to be fires, that there's good places to stop it to where it can't go for miles and miles and miles. And the forestry and the Corps both have a little money to actually do something, and so we're going to see what we can get done there. Hosted the area fire chiefs meeting. That's always a good time to collaborate with our neighboring fire chiefs that we mutual aid with regularly, and the ones kind of one layer out that we don't mutual aid with a lot, but when the big one happens, we need them and they need us, and so it's good to collaborate with them a few times a year. So the first time you talk to them isn't not a fire and not know for sure who they are. And you can see our stats as far as recruits and hires, and like Elizabeth was talking about, you know, of that 300 number, I think she had up there, 130 of them are volunteer fire. And of course, we're unique, as you well know, with the turnover rate we have there with students and military staff and military family members. You know, we have a constant turnover there. We have our core base volunteers who are there, who've been here, a lot of them 40 years. And then we have the other group that they're here 2-3 years and then go on because they graduate or they get moved to a different military facility. So not much we can do about that other than just keep recruiting. I think I've talked about most of this stuff already. Jake's been going to a lot of trainings. He's been he's joined and participating in the state fire marshals group, and so learning more about that stuff and getting integrated into those people that are obviously specialists in the fire marshal side of the house. And then you have our run report and our newsletter. Fairly normal stuff for this time of year, nothing too out of the ordinary. And hopefully if you're available, you should have got your invitation to our picnic. If not, here it is. So if you
Picnic, no.
so we have our summer picnic. It's August 8th in the evening. It'll be down at Ashland this year. So
August 8th.
yeah. So I will have Mackenzie make sure she sends that to you if you would like to attend. And
There's 15th in here.
Yeah, I guess say 15th.
oh yeah, it says I'm sorry, the RSVPs by the 8th.
Oh.
Yes, the picnic's on the 15th. Thank you for noticing that. The RSVPs by the 8th. And so that'll be down at Ashland. So
It's RSVP.
Saturday.
so
I can probably do that.
Okay.
Put me down.
do you, so the other thing I was going to mention is you know, we've made a lot of progress, I think, and I appreciate the support that the commission's given. And I, you know, obviously my staff is what's done a lot of that and the progress we've made over the last 6 years. And I look forward to watching from a distance the progress they make over the next 6 years. Any questions?
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thanks.
On which account?
Both.
Okay.
All the
Both.
above.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff and stacking up while we're working on budget.
Yeah,
We're getting all these updates
right.
that get pushed off.
It gets all, it makes for a long morning, but at least they're not too complex.
Yeah, there's nothing too bad, you know, nothing big stirring, just a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I did see it was for the Missouri was an elimination of the income tax. That's what you were saying? Yeah.
Eliminating the income tax.
Yeah, the state's portion of the income tax.
Huh.
That's what they were trying to do. Anyways, failed.
It's what they're gonna replace it with.
I don't know if they thought that far.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, it's kind of like there was it's similar to there was a petition for a city in Kansas that they wanted to change the form of government, but the only thing they did was we want to remove that piece of government, but they didn't have anything to replace it with. So like, well, that's kind of problematic if you don't have something to replace it. You can't just be like, it's not going to be that anymore. You got to have a little more to it than that. I was over in Prairie Village
no.
over in Johnson County.
Oh, me. Feel old today.
It's nice out.
Huh?
So it's nice out.
It is.
Nice
If
cool
it clears
mist.
up a little bit, it'll be a good day to get out and do some stuff. I got my own to-do list.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, I'm actually looked to see the Jaguars first preseason
Yeah. You guys having a good off season?
so far. So hard to predict anything when you're just going through drills, you know. And
Ain't that the truth?
there's nobody really standing there. Well, Chris Rodriguez at running back. They're going to be running back by committee, I think, this year.
Yeah. I know it's like I hear always, the training camp pressures, and it's like that.
Mhm.
It means nothing.
No. Usually the first game is just kind of going through the motions. The second game is where you
Yeah, it
get
starts
some
to
of
see
your
a little bit.
depth,
Yeah.
You see school employees, they're talking about data centers and they closed their meeting. The city commission closed their meeting.
Yeah, they
Oh,
did it just
good
virtual. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
another reason why we have to have data centers.
I didn't think about
That's the
that.
irony.
That is the irony of that
Yeah,
one.
it's the irony.
Yeah, I don't envy the governments down there.
Well, but
There was
why close the meet, you know?
a whole deal over in Shawnee County and Topeka now. In
I heard
Kansas
there's
City
something
too,
going on.
Yeah,
shut down one.
Kansas City did. I didn't
Mhm.
hear that.
It's got a pretty big national level for it, or something. Brents.
They got national
Well,
attention.
Really?
I think that's probably. I mean, it's pure speculation on my part.
County did that.
Morning, Commissioners. Anna Person with the Appraiser's Office here to do a monthly staff update. On ag use side of things, we're processing sales. There's roughly 17 ag sales to date. 154 properties are due for their reinspection, and we're at 93% complete on those reinspections. Our ag appraiser's working on with our residential team to process ag use changes related to farm sites that have sold, farm site inspections, and all the ag use delineation changes from those maps that were returned. We're also working through our updated water report as part of that ag use review. So any parcels that have irrigated land, we're updating calculations on those. Currently on our appraisal support side, still conducting that entry quality control of all residential inspections, assisting with the ag maps as those are received. So sales building permits and as well. Exemption applications as they are received, they are the initial intake, making sure we have the documents that we need. On the residential side of things, there's approximately 597 residential sales to date for 2026. With a median sale price of 280,000 and average sale price right around 322,019. Currently our median ratio is right at that 95%. There are approximately 275 new permits for 2026, including 32 new dwellings and rechecks from our prior year building permits that were wrapped up. Our team's working through 2026 sales inspections and annual review. We're right around 47% complete on farm home site, 47% complete on res and 95% complete on the farm home site inspections that were due for review. All small claims hearings relating to 2026 that's on residential were completed as of Monday. We're just waiting for results from the Board of Tax Appeals. On the commercial side, there have been 24 commercial sales, which includes commercial exempt property. There's roughly 11 new commercial building permits for 26. And also there's all the miscellaneous other building permits from 25 that they will be following up on. Annual review for commercial has been completed. They're working through building permits, rechecks, and other special projects, as well preparing for our small claims and BOTA hearings. The small claims have not yet been scheduled. We had one scheduled and then it got rescheduled. After my last staff update, there was questions and they wanted a little bit, John asked for some more information as it pertained to a breakdown of sales. And so here's a hierarchical summary of 509 sales. Now that's different than total sales because you have some sales that are not market transactions. And so those are not included in this. This is sales that truly, based on all accounts so far, represent the market. And so you've got your median right at that 280. That 25% fall below 215 and 25% fall above 360,000. Well, then I went and I broke it down even further. So this is 509 sales divided into 4 equal groups, quartiles, approximately 25% each. And then it's further broke down into the quartiles, 25th, median, and 75th percentile. So you've got 50% of the sales in Riley County between $215,000 to $360,000, and 25% are greater than 360, 25% are below that. And so this is just a little further breakdown. I just ask if this is telling you what you were asking for. If this gives you more insight and information, is this the way you would like to see this as we move forward?
Maybe one of the other interesting things, and maybe it's not maybe necessarily your department, but maybe GIS is mapping where those sales are taking place too.
We have the sales map, but that information, I can't share individual properties.
But
and
you do like
price points.
A
I mean,
circle around that and kind of like what RCPD does for crime.
I mean, we can show
the
just where
hotspots.
sales are happening.
That's what I mean.
But price points and ranges I would not do.
Right.
But I could certainly do a GIS. GIS is extremely busy right now, so I'll have to work with Jake and see if we can add a layer that doesn't have any information, just the dots, but I can look at that.
I do like this chart. That's good information.
Yeah, it's helpful. It helps you to see really that bigger picture of
I
those
think
sales.
the one where it was just kind of on a line and.
Sure. Yep.
I think it's
I
makes it a little
can,
bit more palatable.
sure, I can make this visible and available during staff updates for you moving forward. On the BOTA side of things, this is our BOTA update, not anything to report. We're still waiting and waiting and waiting for appeals to get scheduled on our commercial side of outstandings. We do have a little movement on, I believe it's Man Apart, nothing official because we're waiting for the Board of Tax Appeals to sign off, but some stipulation. So these will likely be coming off.
Which one is that again?
I can't remember offhand. I'm sorry. I can't tell you specifically which parcel or property this is, but it is 2 properties. When I come back with more information, I'll share that with you. On exemptions. So we have 2 new exemption applications that were sent off to the Board of Tax Appeals. Additionally, we had a hearing scheduled the Clovia Alumni Association. This week we received notification of continuance. It was scheduled for a 30-minute hearing. It's now going to be a half day at a later date to be decided. Additionally, the City of Manhattan, the parking garage hearing, that is scheduled at the end of August, and I will be attending that obviously with council. And so these are the remaining pending exemptions. Lastly, just other projects, a lot of training going on in our office. We're excited the progress that our team's making, you know, updating processes and procedures to keep things flowing more smoothly. Exemption applications and analysis, we've received questions as it pertains to exempt properties, the types of exemptions we have, a little bit more of a breakdown of the 40% exempt. You know, it changes, it goes between that 38.9 to 40. Ultimately, I mean, I would estimate it's far greater than 40 when you consider the value of the property we cannot collect for Fort Riley, the limited information we have on some of the government properties. And so I anticipate that's even greater. Also other projects, small claims hearings, BOTA prep, for those exemption hearings. You know, I've held several of our small claims hearings for residential. I am the one that will represent on the exemption hearings. I think it's important because the impact those have. I'm preparing those hearing cases and working with our attorney. The CPM project, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to participate in the Certified Public Managers Program with KU that started last month. I'm excited for the capstone project and just seeing how that will help impact our office and Riley County. The last thing just to add was participated in the tabletop exercise with emergency management. For those who don't know, the appraiser's office does respond as part of the damage assessment team whenever there is a disaster. And so it was a really good opportunity to interact with some other stakeholders, the City of Manhattan, you know, Red Cross, emergency management. And I did encourage to have, that's the first time I participated in the tabletop exercise. I've been here for 4 years. I encouraged the importance of having more of those types of dialogues a little bit more frequently for all parties that are involved. Do you have any questions?
Thank you. Go back up to the prior slide.
Okay.
Out of what's left there, how many of those are either using the land and their dwellings for-profit purposes?
How many of these?
And they're charging fees or charging for something, they're bringing in income.
This is why I have the City of Manhattan going to the Board of Tax Appeals. If it's not clearly being used for an exempt purpose and the exemptions in question, I will one, respectfully defer to the board because I question whether it should or should not qualify for exemption based on how the property is or is not being used.
Okay.
And with also the Child Care Accelerator, there's some questions as it pertains to how that property is being used and whether that would actually qualify for exempt use. You know, really the statutes and the way they're written are what creates the confusion, and that falls on our legislation. You know, exemptions are not something that we at the county level, we don't dictate the exemptions, we follow the statutes. And so the more legislation continues to exempt and the way they write those statutes, the bigger that impact is on our local government. And it just keeps eroding the tax base that we have. And so therefore the property taxes for all of our property owners who are paying taxes just continues to climb. So the more exemptions, the more legislative exemptions that get added to the list, the more erosion at the local level and the higher the taxes.
And what's the Kansas Board of Regents property there for?
That was so this one was a transfer from the foundation to the university.
Yeah.
And so ownership change requires a new application. This one, what is an ag use. this one without a doubt will be exempt. I mean, it's being used for an exempt purposes. It has been used for an exempt purpose, but because of the ownership change,
Okay.
it's gonna, fortunately, in the ag use, impact is less, but still more.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Thank you.
We have Tandy Lentz at 9:45.
Yeah, Manor Parks Apartments.
Okay.
They're just southwest of Genesis. Along Allison.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly where you're at. Okay, yeah. That's funny.
We're deeply anticipating your presentation.
We're so quiet, constantly.
No
For some
pressure.
reason,
But I don't know that it's that exciting.
stays warm for some reason.
Ooh, I haven't been up here yet. It's right there. My first time behind the podium since it's all been redone here.
You'll enjoy the touch screen.
Does it move on me?
No.
All right. Good morning, Commission. Tandy Lentz. I am here on behalf of the Employee Day Committee. One thing I want to go ahead and pass out is the agenda that I did not get attached, so I apologize for that. Noticed it this morning when I was reviewing.
It's all right.
You know where it is on the drive.
I do.
So I am the chair of the Employee Day Committee this year. My co-chair is Dana that works for elections, so she couldn't be here. She's still a little busy wrapping things up from the election that just happened on Tuesday. But a little bit of background, since 2006, Riley County has designated Indigenous Peoples Day, dedicated for the opportunity for countywide training that is more close to the public, but it is a entire staff mandatory training. This year's training day will be on October 12th at AMC Theater. Again, is where we will start our day. We have chosen, the Employee Day Committee has chosen Riley County Connects as our theme for the day. We selected this theme so that we could emphasize strengthening amongst ourselves, you know, as a Riley County whole, and how we contribute each other to the work that we do. The appraiser's office with the treasurer's office, so on. Our agenda is going to look a little bit different this year. I've attached a copy of, handed a copy of that out. Again, I apologize for not getting it in the car, but we will start the morning, optional 7:45 arrival time with refreshments, and hope for a little bit of collaboration amongst the employees that we don't see each other every single day. So be nice to have a little bit of time there. Our opening message will begin at 8 o'clock with hopefully our chairwoman here, if she will be there for us. So we will then move into, this is where the day looks a little bit different. We will have a session 1 and a session 2. So every employee will attend both sessions. There won't be breakouts. So we will all be receiving the same information and message. Session 1 followed by employee recognition, years of service, and then session 2. We will then be departing AMC mid-morning, early afternoon-ish, and heading out to Riley County Public Works. That's where we're going to spend our afternoon and have lunch. Also a little bit different, we're going to have lunch together. We're going to get to sit at tables, visit together, talk about our work, collaborate a little bit, connect with each other. We will then do some departmental highlights. Each department will have the opportunity to showcase what we do and how that contributes to the community that we live in. Cost associated is attached also here, where I will apologize for another mistake. I believe it's in here. Okay, thank you. Across the top, this does say 2025. Error on my part. Didn't get it changed to 2026, but it was part of the 2026 approved budget for the $22,475, which equates to about $89 per person. You all attend other trainings throughout the year, so know that that is a pretty, while significant, insignificant number for us to receive this training all together to hopefully take back something that will help our customer service aspect and how we collaborate with each other. Anybody have any questions? I want to thank my team of committee members. We've worked really, really hard to try to develop a day that's a little bit different than it has been in the past, but still reflects on what our end message is. So.
Okay, have you got any plans for, besides lunch and talking out at Public Works, you're gonna have outside events?
Departmental events. So I don't know exactly what that will look like. Each department will get the opportunity to showcase what their work is within the county. I do know that the health department, they're going to showcase by offering their mobile shot unit. So we will be able to get our flu shots on this day, if you choose to do so.
I was just going to paint it a little. So there's actually not presentations out at Public Works. What it is an outdoor kind of go around and see things. So Public Works is bringing trucks there. We'll have mowers there. We'll have ambulances there. Fire trucks will be there. Yes, the mobile clinic will be there. And then other departments will have kind of information booth or table. So there won't be like a presentation in the afternoon. It'll be kind of an interactive
move around
Riley County. You can go and see and talk to actual employees about what they do. And how they do it.
There's no pie in the face.
No, no pie in the face this year.
And we could squeeze it in, Catherine,
Yeah.
if you're, if you're volunteering, we could squeeze it in.
Just curious. That was
Greg,
kind of
I
fun.
have cookies in there for you already. I knew it was gonna get the discussion.
What was it?
I never understood the concept of donut holes, but
I'm
there's no holes in them.
gonna take just the
But
center.
donuts with alcohol.
It's probably
That's
because
actually,
the,
I like that.
if it's the donut, it's the hole is punched through it. So it's the remaining hole of the total.
But it's
donut.
not a hole.
It was a hole. It created a hole.
Yeah, that was a hole. It did create a hole.
It did.
Does anybody have any further questions for me?
I don't see any more.
Okay, I also just want to say thank you for the opportunity for us to have this day each year. It's a lot of work, but in the end, it's rewarding. I mean, especially if people can learn from one another and make a new connection within the county. Sometimes I have to make phone calls and I don't know who I'm calling, so it would be nice to put a face with that name. Thank you.
Thanks, Sandy. Next commissioner, you have Amanda Webb at 10.
Don't we need to make a motion on that?
Make a motion on what?
Not for Amanda.
Oh,
No,
for
approve
the
approve the agenda and budget.
the agenda and
Yeah.
budget for Employee Day.
Go ahead and make a motion to approve the agenda and the budget for the 2026 Riley County Employee Day.
Second,
Moved and seconded to approve the agenda and budget for the 2026 Raleigh County Employee Day. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
What, those dinosaur races too.
Next week's begin part of the Amanda Webb Day of presentations.
Maybe you should have brought
Two
breakfast
evenings in a
this
row.
morning.
Yeah, I know. She just can't get enough attention lately.
Yeah.
Come get him. Maybe I send you down to Emporia or Shawnee County.
Yeah.
Circle, it was clear. Yes. Oh, darn. So this is kind of what we're for this year, with the gentleman I'm talking about there, who's gonna talk to. And basically I said, just wherever's a good spot for them to kind of pull out some things and flatten it and get on. Yeah. Yeah, so that'd be good, yeah, and like this. That's a volleyball. Yeah. Obviously, that's the ball field. So, yeah, the trail, it's kind of, there's drainage. When you're walking there, you have to get down on the lower. So I don't know, maybe we want to come up a little bit. We can go up here, but take over here. Yeah. They figured out what's to. Yeah, I know, I believe it's communicated to them. Yes, I was saying something. Yeah, I know you guys have this. Yeah. He was, "Mom, hey, how's that?" I said, no, we're not gonna do that. Yeah. Because that's a big fest. Bring a lot of people over and bring break and, well, it's great. But they have great, right? Yeah. This is gonna be, this is they can just fit in. Maybe we'll sure. Well, they're a big crops. So, yeah, so that's kind of what I communicated to them, kind of letting them know. If you want to. So, maybe like the next month, or sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we can. About New Year's property, So how we normally salvage. Then I know you and I talked about the games and fun, so.
Yeah.
Maybe we wanna go out and kind of.
I don't know, cause this, this area right in there, the big drainage ditch, you have to walk down and over. So, over on this side is a little, closer to the trail, this kind of gets down.
Is there time out there? Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I think that's. Yeah, perfect. I was thinking that's good. We can look at maybe where we go. Then you hear this splash with the beach as well, for so when I first visited it's. It's right there, so I did that this morning just to have it, it's closer. And you're. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
Women's basketball players from Greece.
Greece, okay.
Yeah.
I had
Oh,
just seen
the
it.
youth center.
I had just seen it. That's what
I can't pronounce her name.
Oh, I'm not.
Yeah. Sounds like she's pretty good though, so
hopefully
That's
she's
what
good
we're
enough
doing.
we'll all be able to pronounce her name at some point.
boom.
Yeah.
Cause I had some movies and stuff, I said,
You know, Amanda, it may be easier if we just reserve a half hour for you each meeting.
Just me.
You know,
I know. Have my regular session on there like you do, Jacobs.
Mhm.
You can take mine, that's fine.
Well, let's not go that far.
Be the next tab down.
Oh, thank you.
There you go.
There we go.
There we go.
Ready, Commissioner?
yes.
All right, good morning, Commissioners. Amanda Webb, Planning Director. I'm here with Planning and Development's monthly staff update. Starting with Keats as usual, I included it in your packet. We're having a groundbreaking for Keats next Thursday evening, August 13th, 6 p.m. Still a few little details we're figuring out, but it'll be roughly in the park area towards the fence near where the lagoons are gonna go. Vanessa and I have been talking about, and Commissioner Folke have been talking about where exactly, and then of course we'll have signage, balloons, all the things. We've really been trying to get the information out for this, and I do expect hopefully a good amount of folks to be there. So we're just really excited that we're getting started. Because construction should start within the next week or so. It's obviously a little bit dependent on weather, but they are gonna have, start mobilizing their equipment out there next week. He did say they would have some equipment out there for us, our groundbreaking equipment like your big rigs and things like that. They also did say that they were able to get shovels for us. They're gonna paint them gold. We're gonna have our hard hats. We're gonna do all this stuff. So we're gonna be ready to celebrate
Do
this.
we need safety glasses and steel toes too?
Well, we can ask for them. Make sure we're nice and prepared. So, yeah, so that's the big stuff with Keats. Unfortunately, I haven't heard anything more at this point about the EPA grant. And we've talked about that. We're just kind of proceeding forward. If something with that works out, that's just, icing on the cake. But we're doing pretty good as it is. Again, we have 87% grant funded for the infrastructure portion as it is. If the EPA grant does work out, the USDA grant goes away. So really,
That
we're
doesn't help
sitting
a whole
pretty.
lot.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
cost.
I mean, we'll take every bit we can get. So if it does work out, we'll get it figured out. But really, we're sitting pretty good at this point. So we're doing well with that. So, let's see, any questions or other comments on Keats? Those are kind of the big pieces I wanted to make sure to say.
Yeah.
So. All right, the other big thing, the Home in the Heartland, our Make My Move program. When I wrote this report on Monday, we had 19 movers, and as of 2 hours ago, we have our 20th mover. So, as I said, it changes regularly, but we have our 20 as of today. So like we talked about, I'm sorry.
It's supposed to be a 2-year process that
Yep.
we got done in
We
just a
did
little over
just
half a year.
Over a year, yep. And I mean, yeah, and of course, we spent a lot of time in the beginning building our program. So yeah, when you kind of think of it that way, our first approved mover was February of this year, and we got our 20th in August. So yeah, so we've done really, really well with it. As we've talked about, and I'm sorry.
Sorry, some point in time of that, I'd like to, once it's official and they're here, is to get a breakdown of where they're from.
Yeah.
Where they're working, is it remote, not remote?
Yep.
Did they bring other people with them?
Yep. I have all that information. Happy to send you my spreadsheet.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because it's really a good wide variety of folks from all
I think
kinds
we
of
need
different
to
states.
advertise that too and get that out.
Yeah, we can do that.
Let people know that.
Yeah.
It's a functional, successful program.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
What was I gonna say? So again, now that we've hit our 20, like we talked about, people can still apply, people can still, the program or the website won't disappear, it won't go anywhere. It'll just be a wait list now, basically, until, again, assuming we get the next round of grant funding, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. In a while, I'll have the contract and then the grant application before you in a little bit. So we can talk more about that, but just really wanted to make you aware that we have our 20. So, and we have over 10 already still in the queue in terms of they're offered and approved. There's some version of offered and approved. When you're approved, basically you just need to move here. You just need to give us documentation that you've filled out a lease or you purchased a home. We do have one in the approved stage who purchased a home in the city of Riley. So that's good. So we do have some folks who are, most of it's in Manhattan, but there have been a couple in some of the smaller cities. So we're happy for that. And then the offered is some variation of they need to maybe fill out their MOU. They of course need to move, but they've secured a job. They've, indicated they want to be here. It's just doing those next steps. And then we have over 500 in our pre-approved pipeline, which again, that's just, somebody has filled out, they look good on paper. I'm interested in this program. Here's a little bit of information, but they need to do a lot more, provide a lot more documentation too.
We need to go to the state and ask them for $4 million just for us.
Yeah, I think we could do it. So, but anyway, so that just wanted to let you folks know about that. Again, we'll talk a little bit more about it here shortly when we talk about the grant application, but we have made it. So let's see, what else do we want to talk about? We'll talk about battery energy storage systems here in a little bit as well. We had our data center work session on Monday, and I'm working on collecting information as per your input from that. So we'll talk about this here soon. Let's see. So jumping down a little bit to the Local Environmental Protection Program, the LEPP grant. That is the grant we get from KDHE to assist low to moderate homeowners with repair or replacement of their wastewater systems or components. We did get an extension on our grant through the end of next June 2027 because we haven't been able to expend all of our funds yet. So if you know of anybody who has, is holding out because they can't quite, because these things can be pretty expensive. So, send them our way. Happy to share information. Hopefully we have about 33,000 left to spend, and we'd like to get that out to the community. We did just help 100% income eligible. We did just help some folks connect into the city of Manhattan. That is allowed to do as long as you're had a failed or need replacement of a private system. It can't be a public replacement or repair of a public already connected, but connecting to a public service is an allowable use as long as it was a private failure, if that makes sense. Like I had a septic system, it failed. I'm close enough and it's feasible to connect to the city of Manhattan, let's say, we will pay for that connection, basically the grant that's eligible under the grant. So we did just help somebody with that. And another one, we're in the midst of helping folks who are 75% income eligible with a septic tank replacement. So those are the ones we've been working through with this round. And again, we still just get that information out to our contractors, to our installers, so they've been really great about helping us spread the word, because obviously they're on the forefront. They know when somebody's had a failure or somebody's dealing with something, so they've given them information, which we really appreciate. And then when we get our pumping reports that show failures, we get the information out to folks. So it's just a matter of getting folks to give us the information so we can, hopefully get the rest of this money out to the community. So any questions on that? All right. Let's see what else we have. I think that'll be all for now, since you'll see me again shortly. So unless anybody has any questions on anything I covered or didn't cover, I'll be back soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Amanda. Next commissioner, you have Jacob at 10:15. Was Gary the only one on the ballot over there? Was Gary the only one on the ballot over there?
No, there's two.
Did the other incumbent make it?
That
D
As
was
of-
unopposed, I think.
Oh, D was unopposed.
mhm.
Gotcha.
There was three of those. It was just two. There was just two.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
That's the only two I've heard of. But
There were some issues over there with his, that there was a super PAC out of, I think it was Arizona or something, got involved in that race. There's been several of those in their area. So,
All over the issue.
and it wasn't candidate driven.
Right.
That's a thing that needs to stop. You're talking about a county commission race. I mean, if it's a US Senate or something, I guess it is what it is, but. Well, I guess there are issues with data centers over there, isn't exactly unchallenged either.
well, one of them wanted to look into it and see, and the other said, no, we got
Yeah.
information. But
Yeah.
right now, everything's driven by social media, not by
Yeah,
facts.
facts.
Ain't that the truth?
mean, social media isn't the facts.
Well, it's like Abraham Lincoln once said, don't believe everything you see on the internet.
I was gonna use that same term.
You know how many young people say, yeah, that's true.
That's something in our system. But now I get a warning. You haven't received emails from this person before. You should want to open them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't think I've seen
I
that.
got one yesterday and then today. I mean, it wasn't, it
Mhm.
was a problem. I don't know what it was, you said. It says, especially using calendar invitations as a vector.
Oh.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jacob Hanson, Riley County Counselor. Only got a couple things to update you guys on as far as for this administrative session. First, I've been in contact with Crawford County Counselor, talking about our criminal nuisance abatement law and coordinating on making sure that we approach the legislature this season, I guess is a better way to term it, and get that law across the board, removing that sunset provision. So we're working together. I'm hopeful that we will continue to. So
Have they used theirs?
they have not used it to the extent that we have. My understanding is that they have threatened it, and that's been enough for them.
Yeah.
But
That's a hope all along.
yeah, that is definitely the idea, and it's a optional last resort, right? To go through the whole trial process. So, and just a reminder, we had that one case, the trial, we got guilty verdicts on. We're waiting for a disposition hearing to schedule that with the court. And then once that happens, we'll find out, then they'll have the time to appeal that'll run after that. So we'll find out if we're in it for another long haul, because after that, then it's going to be a new trial if they appeal, which means we just do the whole thing over again. So we'll see what happens. I'll be sure to keep you guys advised of what does. Another thing I'd like to mention is just this morning I just received a proposed MOU from our folks seeking to move the county fairgrounds. So I'll be taking some time to review that and do a little bit of back and forth, and I'll of course include the commission on those conversations. So it's still obviously I haven't even looked at it really yet, so we'll see what it brings, but it continues to move. So any questions?
No.
Okay. That's all I have, unless you guys have any other topics you would like me to consider for future meetings, or
Yeah,
what you got?
we need to plan our, I can't remember what it's called.
The legislative conference, is that what you're thinking?
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree. That needs to start happening, so I will start.
Get them all lined up.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll make sure that hopefully they
But
respond.
I recognize there may be some new faces in the crowd. Well, there will be.
Yeah.
At least
That there
one,
will,
but,
yeah.
But
So we probably need to wait until after the general election.
no.
Yeah.
If we wait, then they're gonna be already working on freshman orientation. I would just say reach out to the candidates and those that are already there and
Yeah.
start working on it and maybe find some dates and.
Agreed. Is there, if I recall, we usually aimed for, was it early November, mid-November?
Yeah, usually somewhere in mid-November there, or I understand that, but if you wait till December, if you want,
May not be.
I understand that, but you can reach out to them ahead of time.
Schedule it.
And
then
schedule
see
it.
who's
Yeah,
gonna-
well, yeah, and
There's not
Commissioner,
that many contested.
I think it's just one.
It's the only, that's the only one of.
and if we recall last year, unfortunately, I had contacted them well in advance, but perhaps not as persistent as I should have been. So I'll learn from last year, be a little bit more on top of them and making
Make sure
sure.
you reach out to Dick Carter and Tom Bruno.
Yep.
As well, okay,
Can do,
okay.
can do. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Commissioners.
And while we're on that subject of fall events, I was going through the calendar from last year. I'm not mistaken, it's our turn to host the Northeast Kansas County officials.
You're working on. it.
Oh, they are?
He's
Okay.
working on it,
Working
because
on
They
it.
just asked me a question.
They're gonna be bringing you a proposal.
Okay.
Yeah, they are working on it.
I was thinking about that going, ooh, that's, with everything we're gonna have going on, we gotta think about these things ahead of time.
I don't think-
Normally for.
I think they were looking
November.
early October.
Or October, November.
Really?
I thought, you know what? I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've got to.
Okay.
I didn't find a place to have what's important for the.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts? On event, I mean, I could,
Yeah, they have thoughts. They've contacted
Okay.
people and gotten proposals already.
okay,
The committee that's working on it.
I didn't know there was one, so
I am not.
I didn't
I didn't know
this
either.
morning, somebody asked me a question.
I was just looking back from my personal calendar from last year before I tossed it, and I thought all these things that happened in the fall and are compounded by the other mountains that we need to climb here, so. Okay. That covers that.
Continue the Amanda Webb show at 10:35.
You just don't like being in the
She
office,
gets,
do you?
but she gets a break. She can't do two in a row. She has to.
Yeah.
She's gotta catch her breath and recoup for the next one.
Get ready, keep track of which one's next in your pile of papers too.
I was eating some Helen.
You know what? I think I'm gonna have a little snack myself while we wait.
I always go on back with meetings, my wife was with.
There you can.
Not really.
I know exactly what you mean.
No,
I said, man, do everything. She's, everything that comes up, she's the one doing it. I said, yeah, I do that. She said, but you said she's doing this, she's doing that. You know, I said, yeah, she's the one for everything. Yeah. Man, someone noticed that your name was on everything. Because once heat starts is really that more Evan in the construction of it. Because you're not doing the inspection. And we got this. Where was the engineer? PG, they'll do the inspection on it. Then on some projects we've done our own, but I didn't think that was. So. You'll still, because your name's on it, people will be calling you with questions. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. Yeah, you can find that. Oh, because your name's on all of that. You want to see. And are we gonna have fireworks and everything else when it's finished? That's what I'm saying. Did you realize since you started?
Yeah.
You're thinking.
Let me go back to my phone. I think so.
Otherwise, Monday later in the afternoon, I'd be available as well.
This upcoming Monday?
Just a little bit later. Just right after.
We don't have to rush. That's okay.
Amanda, so you want to do it at, on the 11th at 1:30? I had 2:30.
So 2:30 is when all the team, all the team keeps.
Yeah.
Meeting.
This is for us to go out there. Oh, okay.
So we could just do it before.
Yeah, that'll work. And 1:30. Yeah, we can get out there real quick and back.
Close enough.
Very nice. Yeah, it seems pretty apparent the Royals don't want to win.
You know, I could never get
Couldn't
into
believe those
baseball.
trades.
I can't, it's just not a sport for me.
I played for 8 years, so
Didn't you?
Mhm. So somewhat plugged in. I think as I've gotten older, football's taken over.
Yeah. I'm sure baseball is intriguing. I always find it interesting that there's no cap, right? There's no cap on like their salaries or something like that.
Well, not officially, but there's fees and taxes.
Mm.
Like the Dodgers right now, they have like a payroll of something like 500 and something $million. And they've deferred all of it. So they've got deferred payments to certain players all the way out to like 2045, like 1.6 billion.
Oh my lord. See, that's what I mean. It's like that angle to baseball seems too daunting.
Mm.
Feels like the people that have enough money would just win, I guess. Like I feel like in the NFL, at least it's a little more evened out.
It's you've got crappy owners in the NFL too, and some of them just look at it as a business perspective. As long as we're making money,
Yeah, that's all.
we don't care what you could be over 16.
Win enough games to keep people in
Yeah.
seats.
Yeah.
The Steelers with the perpetually 50-50,
And they
just over 50-50.
For many generations, the Rooneys were gun ho about winning, and the moving on from Mike Tomlin. They only had 3 coaches in like 50 years.
Yeah.
It's crazy when you think about it. And so
That's true.
now it's just like, win 8 games, 9 games. Okay.
Yeah, they're limping along.
Let's find the oldest quarterback in the league, and that's who's going to run the show.
Kenny Pickett is with the Panthers now.
That sounds right.
Is that right? Bryce Young no longer gonna start for him?
I think he's pretty much the entrenched starter, but
Be interesting.
part of the issue there too is they really haven't put a great supporting cast around him.
Yeah, no, I mean, that franchise is cursed.
Well, got no
Well,
one of
not
the
no more
owners.
than the Browns. though. God, that franchise.
There was one year they were trying to make a trade. It was when they were really, really bad. Trying to make a trade. The owner and the staff didn't put the trade paperwork in on time and missed the deadline.
Cool. That was with the Panthers.
No, that was
Those
with the Browns.
Yeah, that tracks. Rough go.
It wasn't a significant trade if I remember correctly, but I mean, as a professional,
Bill.
how do you miss a deadline? One of the most important deadlines of the year in your sport.
I would have to.
Maybe an owner, somebody would be getting fired.
Oh, yeah. The Chiefs first preseason is 15th.
Who are they playing?
The Rams, which will be fun
Hmm.
since McDuffie's over there, but
Well, I wonder if there's talk of Aaron Donald coming back.
yeah, I don't know.
Apparently, he
Yeah,
worked out full workout yesterday with the team. Yeah. And of course, they'll have the rights to him. So
I can only hope that doesn't work. He's
Imagine
too
that
old. He's
defensive-
too old.
well, he took a couple of years off. He wasn't that old when he retired. So, but can you imagine defensive line with him and Miles Garrett? Oh my
No,
God.
I don't want to.
I would hate to be playing that division if I'm a quarterback.
That would be horrible.
The Rams, talk of Aaron Donald coming back.
Of
course, they-
scared.
Traded for Miles Garrett. Suddenly you're gonna see the Cardinals and the Seahawks and the 49ers start building an offensive line.
Yeah, no kidding. They're gonna have to, or the guys would get killed.
You know, the 49ers are about as brittle as peanut brittle every year.
Come on.
Good morning again. Amanda Webb, Planning Director, here to talk about battery energy storage systems, BESS for short, because that's a bit of a mouthful.
Also the wife of Harry Truman.
So I just put up a picture here. This is, we'll talk about this in a minute, but this is from the model ordinance that ACP put out, American Clean Power put out. Just to give you folks an idea of what these can kind of look like. Now, now we've been talking about, of course, data centers, and we need to talk about BESS as well. Our moratorium does cover both. They're related, but two separate kinds of uses. And so we want to make sure that we're learning about both things separately, and then making a decision separately about how we'd want to cover this use, basically. So I attended a 3-part webinar series over the last few weeks that CACPIZO, or Kansas Association of County Planning and Zoning Officials, put together with a company, and most of the presenters were from ACP, the American Clean Power folks. Again, it was a really helpful factual information about what these things are, what to consider as we're considering regulations, and then if we do want to, again, allow these in some way, what our regulations should entail. One of these sessions was fully about fire safety, which with batteries, as you folks can imagine, is one of the big kickers. We want to make sure these things are safe and not going to cause problems for the community. Now, quick note. So the notes that I included in there, I used our best friend AI. I'm just gonna go ahead and admit that. I know.
Just adding to the problem,
I
Amanda.
know it,
Adding to the problem.
but really, it's true.
Yeah.
To help summarize, because I have my notes here if you'd like to see them all of that. So
Well, we can tell you're not a doctor.
Well, you can read these.
That's exactly.
So, but again, what I use that to do again is help summarize, because there's just a lot of information, and just kind of help soften the technical edges of these topics. They're obviously very technical. There's a lot to them. So just kind of wanted to not throw too much information at you folks. The other note is, again, these were webinars. I have the recordings. If you folks are interested in watching them, happy to send those to you because it was actually very helpful information. And
You
again,
still got those books on tax law, right?
You're a pony.
Okay.
what's that?
I was asking if he still had his books on tax law.
Oh, no, this is much more exciting. Of course, I have no idea about tax.
I would-
Maybe it's exciting. I don't know.
I think that's fair.
But I want to offer that because even if you, and again, you're welcome to look at my more detailed notes, but there's so much to it. And I just want to make sure everything makes as much sense as possible for you folks as we're thinking about this. So these are becoming a little bit more common, not just because of data centers, but because of electric vehicles, all those different sorts of things that we're just using more. We as in, I mean, really the world, but are just using more energy. And what these are really helpful in doing, you know, when you're looking at renewable energy, your solar, your wind, those sorts of things, you know, all of the energy that those units take, these help store it for use later. It's less waste, if that makes sense, you know, because when you bring all that solar in or all that wind in, you don't necessarily need it right at that exact time, if that makes sense. So these help to store that energy until maybe peak times in the evenings or those sorts of things. So they're very, very helpful. At least that's what I'm learning. They're very helpful and they are becoming a little more prevalent because of renewable energy. So there's a variety of different kinds of energy storage systems. The battery energy storage systems are what we're specifically talking about here. They're your lithium ion batteries that again are you know, kind of laid out as you're seeing there. Again, it's all dependent on, you know, they don't have to be that big. They don't have to be that expansive. It's all depends on the components used, all the different pieces that actually go inside the module. And again, what it's actually needing to do, how much energy it's needing to store for future use. So again, I'm trying to keep it very basic. So also so I don't confuse myself or anybody else. So one thing I do want to mention, and again, as I said kind of at the start of this, one of the 3 sessions was dedicated solely to fire safety. Again, we know lithium ion batteries are very susceptible to fire. They burn hot. They're, you know,
And
those,
forever.
yeah, and they're very hard to control. They're very impactful. And while they're looking at other types of battery options to go into these things right now, the lithium ion are the most common battery type that are used. So again, without getting too much in the weeds, and I tried to kind of summarize it in my my notes here. So NFPA, National Fire Protection Association, and UL, these things have to be certified by those agencies, by those entities. And there's whole lists and books and documents about how that occurs. Each piece has to be, again, UL certified. And again, there's lists on how that's done. And then the entire unit has to be NFPA certified. And it requires UL certification of each piece. And then the other big part, the big important thing to note in terms of safety with these things and fire safety is each of them are required to go through, I want to make sure I'm using my words right, large scale fire testing. So basically what that means is they'll take, in a controlled environment, they'll take one of these units, one of these full modules, and basically set it on fire. And they want to make sure it's one thing that one unit or one cell within the module is on fire. Okay, that's a loss. It is what it is. We want to make sure that it's not going to go to the next unit and the next unit and the next unit, that it can be contained within one module, one cell, one module, one unit. It's not engulfing the whole thing. So what they shared during the webinar was over the years, even though these are getting a lot more prevalent across the country, fires and other cell failures, what they call them, have gone down 99% in a 7-year period. And that's because of what they've learned from the early ones and that they put all of these criteria, these requirements in place through NFPA and UL. So while nobody is saying that these are 100% safe and perfect and can never fail and can never cause a problem, it's a lot less than it used to be because of everything they've learned over the time and what they have to do to certify these uses and build these uses and all of that. So that was really important information to hear and to share. Because again, I know data centers and battery energy storage systems are two different animals. There's obviously a lot more to consider with data centers. But the BESS, again, one of the biggest things you hear is, oh my gosh, fire hazard, which is completely understandable, completely, fair to hear. So I thought that was really interesting information.
Did you hear much about interactions between these companies and like insurance policies?
They did not talk about that. Again, I've just taken those few sessions so far. So they didn't specifically mention anything about that, but
Okay.
there could be, I'm sure there's stuff out there about that.
I would imagine.
Yeah, I would hope. So, yeah.
One thing I see, seeing it laid out like this, because I assumed it was just one giant building full of all these things, and it would just, the whole thing would go up.
Yeah.
Having them individual, I mean, that makes more sense that
Yeah.
you can. And like I say, everything else they're learning, first you were fortunately guinea pigs to learn how
Right.
not to do it.
Yeah,
And
yeah, exactly.
But having them divided up like that does look like it makes more sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so that's generally what these look like. Again, the size of the campus, the size, the number of units is all, of course, kind of dependent on what actually goes into the module, how the cells are made, the energy used and all of that. And of course, what they're taking in and what they're trying to distribute. So it can be bigger than that, can be smaller than that, but that's basically what it's going to look like.
Those power lines, those power, whatever they are on the
Yeah.
west side, are those intake or outflow, or are they both, or how does that work?
Not really sure, honestly. So, I mean, there is intake, of course, from, your wind turbines and your solar panels and things, and then it comes to these units, and then it hangs out, and then of course there's also your generation. I still don't know enough, to know which piece is which, I'll be honest. So.
Did they tell you, like, specifically, well, like on that particular picture, how many acres did it take to do that whole project, or did they say?
So this is just the cover of let's see, the model ordinance that ACP came out with.
Okay, it's not it's real.
It's
not-
real. Yeah, it's definitely a real picture. I don't know where this was. I can ask them
Okay.
to, see if they can give us.
Just wondering how much space it takes.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
What
Yeah.
they have to, put around it to kind of buffer it, that kind
Right,
of thing.
absolutely.
Noise,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Yeah, no, definitely good questions and more things for us to research and understand.
Well, and talk about the fire thing, to me. I realize if we get to restricted surf, you need to have it close to a major fire, a fire department, not a
Mhm.
rural, I mean. Volunteers do great, but they're not gonna be trained in how to take care of these things.
Right.
But that's where it needs to be. When restrictions close enough, within so many, within a mile of in the water, although I realize water doesn't put those out, but
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely.
that's something you need. You can't just put them out there and have 4
Nowhere
volunteers
still,
go out
yeah.
and do something. You're gonna have to have train people that know what to do.
Yes, and that is something that the NFPA does require. It requires hazard mitigation analysis. Again, how are these things going to impact? And how is the developers is a little bit the wrong word for these sorts of things, the manufacturer, but we'll just say developer, the person putting these in, basically, how those failures will be mitigated for or assumed for. It requires emergency operations plan, which is kind of alluding to what you were talking about. So emergency operations plan, how are these things going to be taken care of in emergency, and then an emergency response plan, which actually is more what you were speaking of, the local responders need to understand what to do.
What we got.
Yeah, so all of that is required through NFPA. So
What about disposal? What about when it is done and it's,
when it's lived its life.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a good
mean,
question.
it's kind of, I don't, it's not ironic, it's a contradiction because, you know, this is supposed to be some kind of renewable thing and supposed to be safe and help the environment, and I've got questions about that, but once it's done,
Yeah.
lithium ion has like a half-life of 1,000 years.
Right.
So we're gonna have technological graveyards at some point in time.
Yeah.
This stuff doesn't go away. I mean, can't bury it, I don't think. So what do you do with it when it's done, and what does the, I guess, the infrastructure or grid for it look like? I mean, we talked about the intake, but what about the outtake? I mean, if you're using it, how are you getting it to where it needs to go to do what it needs to do?
Yeah. Gonna see if I can find a best expert for us, some folks who can come talk to you directly.
Well, it's a group that we had talked to earlier in the year.
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can reach
Um,
out to them.
they were just inquiring if I would believe they were eyeing the major subcomplex up there on the hill off 24. And I
Yeah.
believe that to be K-State property, but
Yeah, it was.
so,
Yeah, I can ask them to, I mean, they'd probably, just go on the screen,
Yeah.
but yeah, I can ask them to come talk to us. I thought that was a helpful conversation
Yeah,
that we
it
had
was.
with them. So, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
To get you folks more. I mean, we've been focusing a lot more on data centers. This is probably, I think, one of our first real work sessions for Bess. So, I mean, definitely in our early stages of learning about this use as well.
I think what you're probably gonna see is the two are gonna be coinciding, attached,
Yeah.
as a way to not be adrenal electrical power, but maybe you solve that issue, but and there's so many issues here though too that are
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
separate, but
Do we have any of those around in the region, these kinds of things?
I'm not 100% sure. Actually, what they did say was Kansas doesn't have a whole lot yet. But again, like with data centers, I mean, there's no statute or whatever, the tax incentives that they're giving to the data.
not yet.
There's nothing for that. Right.
Give them
not yet.
time.
But let's see, they said Kansas has 1 megawatt of operational energy storage capacity right now, not much.
Like one
But they
building?
have,
It's-
Oh.
but they have over 9,000 megawatt of energy storage filed in the SPP, the Southwest Power Pool interconnection queue. So basically, there's more coming. So, which we would assume that
Mhm.
there'll be more coming.
Well, and is this the energy companies themselves? I mean, does Evergy build these or does somebody else build them? And buy and sell it back?
Yeah, I believe it's a different entity, but I can clarify that
It's
too.
that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I think Evergy would be built.
The
Yeah.
caveat to that is who's building the outright infrastructure out of that? Is that the company or is that Evergy?
Yeah. Yeah, all things to clarify and understand. Yeah. Who's doing what?
Hmm. Mhm.
Okay. Let's see, where are we? Anything else? So I'm taking some notes of some of the questions we have. Again, I'm gonna see if I can get either those folks that we talked to or some other expert to come in and talk to us about the more ins and outs of this and who can hopefully answer your questions directly.
And they might know what type of places they're looking
Right.
for too.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they're not throwing them out there somewhere. They have requirements,
Right.
what they want to see to put.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
do.
exactly.
That was mentioned in that conversation and they had plotted some areas. I think that's why they reached out because they didn't have any information about who was responsible for the grid and everything there. So.
Yeah, 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 they're gonna wanna be close to, infrastructure, of course, so. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. So I'm gonna collect some more information again, find somebody to talk to us. Did you have anything else you want to talk about on this or any other questions we haven't covered?
So it's a lot of information already, you know,
Yeah.
that I
Yeah,
didn't know anything about, you know.
we are all learning about things we never thought we'd have to know about.
Yeah.
So, and probably from kind of now on, we're gonna have separate data center work sessions and separate desk sessions,
Yeah.
because again, they are similar and related, but they are separate enough
Different.
that, yeah, we want to be thinking about them differently. And if we want to, you know, whatever uses we want to allow, I want to have criteria and regs for each of them separately, so. So that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Okay.
If you think of anything else, just let me know, and I'll just keep collecting information as we do, and we'll get it figured out.
Oh, I have one, on a moratorium that includes these
Yeah,
two?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, data centers and BESS are under our moratorium right now, so, yep.
Thanks, man. Next commissioner, you have Megan Lewis at 10:55.
Thank you.
I can imagine the cost of the service. What was that?
You're holding the button down too long.
The pin was. Bad pin.
You're saying?
Imagine the cost of just the network servers and administration to regulate those.
All right. Well, I'm thinking insurance is gonna be, how are
My
they-
insurance companies probably haven't even wrapped their heads around it.
and they would be the first ones
Which
to
means they
do.
just charge, they throw darts at a wall and come up with a number.
And this and the data centers, like the one that talked about Pop County. I would think it'd almost pay them to build their own fire department, you know, on site,
Yeah, probably.
because they'd be specially trained on, you know, on how to deal with the
Right. Well, shoot, I bet it would be, their insurance premiums would be less if they had that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not the case currently, but I would have to think they'll do some type of like outdoor sprinkler type systems or something that are built in the facility. It may not be there just yet, but I'm thinking of the strip there in Vegas where they got those things that mist water.
The
on
mist
it.
release,
Yeah,
yes.
I thought those were so cool.
Okay.
Good morning, Commissioners. Megan Lewis with Riley County Community Corrections. I am here to ask for your approval for two different grant applications. Our first application is for, they're both for the City of Manhattan Community Support Funds. The first is our Juvenile Services application for the amount of $3,750. That application and grant funds would be used for our intervention services for drug testing supplies and lab confirmation, treatment services, as well as education and training. Do you want me to move on to the second one, or do you want to?
Yeah, you probably need
Get
to
a
do
motion on
Okay.
the first one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you,
That is it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
That is it.
any questions? And we do this every year, so. yeah,
Yes,
just-
we have done this since 2011.
Yeah.
So this is what funds our drug testing and other things. So, yes.
Yeah. I make a motion to approve the 2027 Juvenile Services Special Alcohol Grant for submission to the City of Manhattan for funding consideration.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the 2027 Juvenile Services Special Alcohol Grant for submission to the City of Manhattan funding considerations. All in favor?
Okay, thank you. The second one is for our adult services. So it's same grant application process with the City of Manhattan. That request is for a total of $26,325. We do have a large number of adult offenders that are on supervision. So that pays for their drug testing supplies, lab confirmation, also inpatient treatment, transportation. So to get them back and forth, and then treatment services for drug and alcohol evaluations and some other co-pays and things like that, as well as education and training for $5,575. So that total is $26,325. Any questions on that one?
The motion.
I'd move to approve the 2026 Adult Services Special Alcohol Grant to the City of Manhattan.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the 2026 Adult Services Special Alcohol Grant for submission to the city of Manhattan. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, commissioners.
Next, commissioners of 11, guess who?
Nothing to sign.
Nope.
Rich Fargo and elections. Oh, wait.
Didn't give me anything.
Huh? I said Rich Fargo and elections.
Oh, it's not so much.
It's still elections.
We are, trust me. We are for sure.
You have to redefine that. There's no such thing as election day. It's election time
Season.
That it
or
is.
season.
Maybe rain tonight.
It's just.
Last one, having fun.
Yesterday.
Didn't quite need it, but rain off and on for the next few days, but I say we.
Yeah.
It wasn't, she got it all done for.
Oh, good. That's good. That's really good.
Unfortunately, it's gonna be back in the mid to upper nineties.
Just for a few days and it's supposed to cool down again and rain again.
Looking at I'm hoping this is the year we get like a full extended fall. Like it starts on Labor Day and it stays till at least past Thanksgiving.
Would be nice.
That make what's otherwise been a very topsy-turvy year okay.
I have 70 degrees every day, you know.
Yeah. that
No
would be
higher
good.
than 70, yeah.
Can we do an ordinance on that?
Yeah, unfortunately, Mother Nature doesn't listen.
It's worth a try.
Rain dances.
Instead of windmills, we need fans that.
Think you're onto something.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay, then.
Me again.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, Amanda Webb, Planning Director. Okay, so we have the Make My Move contract and then the Home in the Heartland grant application. Obviously, those are kind of tied together. So just starting with the contract for Make My Move. I did, Jacob, just so you know, I did send them the contractual provisions agreement. I think that's what it's called. I
Mhm.
haven't gotten their signed copy back yet. It's the same thing, of course, we sent them last year. We just
Yeah.
haven't got it back
Mhm.
yet. So I apologize that I don't have a sign, their signature on the one you guys have, but we've been working with them. I didn't think it would be too much of a concern,
No.
so, but I'll make sure to get that, of course. So again, this is based on 15 movers. That's what we agreed upon. And Make My Moves contract is for 108,000 for their portion of it. And of course, you can read in the contract what that all covers. We have to pay 78,000 to Make My Move by October 1st, and then the remaining 30,000 by March 1st of next year. So again, it's all pretty much the same as what we dealing with them currently. So any questions? Oh, one quick note, if we submit for the grant and then are awarded, contract goes away. So, yeah, and that specifically is mentioned in here, so nothing there, so it's all dependent on the award from the state.
I make a motion to approve the contract with Make My Move and authorize the commission chair to sign.
Second.
So moved and seconded to approve the contract with Make My Move and authorize the commission chair to sign. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair, please sign.
All right. You don't want me to wait until the their signature comes back to sign that?
I,
It's fine.
do you-
I'm not worried about it. It's typical.
Mhm.
They're very aware that
Yeah.
we're signing this based on that.
And they signed that last year, so I can't imagine it has any concerns.
We asked the same question.
That's mine. Which,
Well, normally you folks like to have everybody else's signature, which completely understandable, so.
it's gonna take a little while because I have to fill out my name and title. So if we want to go forward with it.
You can
I'll
go
sign
for the
this.
next piece if you'd like. So next part is the actual grant application itself. So the Make My Move folks put some things together and I filled in for the Riley County portions. So it's ready to go to the state, if you folks approve, Commissioner Foki doing that. So again, 15 households that we agreed upon. If you see, it's a little bit of a funky number. And that's because, so originally, the Make My Move folks had 198,000 based on 15 movers, and that was gonna be our 15,000 in kind. So we talked about, where Alice and I felt comfortable reporting our hours and time at, and that was based on 15 movers, 12,870. And that's the number you folks are okay with. So that's why it's a little bit, it's a 195,870 is what we're actually going, the program cost overall. So that's what we'll report to the state. And you can kind of see there, the 20% match that the county is required to provide is 39,174. Again, I know a little bit of a funky number because of the in-kind we're using. And then we're going to contribute the 12,870 in-kind administrative funds, which means the cash that you folks would have to give for the in-kind, or the 20%, I should say, is 26,304. So that again, that'll come from economic development funds, and likely probably most of that would be for this year. So, because again, we might have to pay certain things up front before we get reimbursed from the state. So, but again, total cash contribution from Riley County is the 26,304.
I am working, or will be working and discussing with a couple of entities about them providing some incentive to help offset the
Yeah.
numbers.
Yeah, and I know we chatted a little bit about that before. Right now, we have non-cash incentives from K-State and the Chamber. Those total roughly about $2,000 in value. So our current total package value is, of course, the $5,000 cash incentive. 2,500 comes up front and 2,500 after they've been here for the year and still have their household income. And then again, the tickets and different things that both K-State and the Chamber give. Excuse me. So, so yeah, all of that, I'll have to verify with K-State. I can't imagine that they would change it at this point, but all of that would be at least the base that we would continue from, and then hopefully we get some other folks.
Yeah.
Giving either more non-cash incentives. We're happy to take any incentives folks will want to give, or cash. So. Any questions on any of this? So any of the program itself, or the again, this is all ready to go once you folks approve to submit. It's due by the 12th, but of course, as soon as I get signed copy back, I'll get it over to the state treasurer's office. I would assume it'll take them a few weeks to review everything and announce awards. But again, our site isn't going away. It's still there. People can still look at it. People can still wait list. So nothing goes away. Nobody's gonna get, oh, we're closed for these next few weeks. No, nobody will go away. So it'll, all look the same to folks.
It closes on the 12th, and I've got to think it'll be a much smoother process
would
than it
assume, yeah.
was the first time around.
Yeah, I would assume, since they've done this before.
If there's no further questions, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the submittal of the Home in the Heartland grant application and authorize the commission chair to sign said application.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the submittal of the Home in the Heartland grant application and authorize the commission chair to sign. All in favor?
Thank you, commissioners. And I can't remember, Greg, maybe you can jog my memory, because of course, last year, Love the face. Last year, you were the one to sign, of course, as the commission chair. And I believe because you were the signer and of course Catherine's going to sign this year, the notification of award will go to you. Will go to, of course, Catherine. I just can't remember if it went.
Yeah, I think
just
I got.
you. Yeah, and then you sent it to me, so,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Well,
I
there's.
don't know if they'll send it to me as well, so, yeah. So. All right, thank you very much.
I don't understand this when I sign it. Wait a minute. This doesn't make sense. This signature page. This clear. I don't know, this was weird. I signed, I couldn't see that part, so I'll need a different page for that. That was not-
that's not a problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
We have
didn't see
three-
that.
Yeah,
so
we have
just now.
3 copies, so,
Yeah,
I think as
well,
long
this
as-
is,
did you, I guess?
well, there was just that one page that,
Right, so we have 3 copies of the same thing, so I don't know
Okay.
if you've had the chance to sign others.
okay, where am
No, there's a lot of this.
I? Okay, this is like, okay, here we go.
Yeah, so, and that's all 3 of the same
Okay,
things.
yeah,
as long
see,
as you're
this is
signing-
like
yeah,
this, and I just went ahead
Yeah,
and did it.
so as long as
Okay,
you're just signing this part,
okay,
yeah, that's,
okay.
that's.
Yeah, it was
And we'll
always,
have Jacob, we'll have 2 voters.
Yeah, I mean, that's more of Rich's domain than mine.
yeah, this was,
As long as Rich gets his original.
One original.
well, yeah, I couldn't see it because of paper clips and stuff.
Dang.
Adjourn, while she's still
Mhm,
signing.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll go ahead and move to adjourn the, whatever day this is. August-
Make sure you get that clear in the minutes.
August 6th meeting of the Raleigh County Commission.
I'll second. August. I second.
Oh, okay, it's a movement, seconded to adjourn the August 6th meeting of the Raleigh County Commissioners. All in favor?